And we're back on Central Valley Talk. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Mike Scott, joined by Charlie Velasquez from Cali, Phat Customz. You do window tinting?
Yes, sir.
On cars?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me on.
Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. All right. Boy, I see these cars around town where the windows are so dark you can't even see in. Is that legal to do them that dark?
On the front doors of vehicles, no.
Because the police have to be able to see in, right? They want to be
Correct.
able to see the driver.
Correct.
But the back side windows or the back windows and the rear can be darker?
Yes, they can.
Is there any limit as to how dark they can be? Or?
No, law states that you can pretty much do whatever you want on the rear of a vehicle. It's just the front doors of the vehicles that are exempt from it.
So the folks I see with those tinted front windows, they could be asking for trouble if they're stopped.
Every single one of them.
What do the police do in that case? Do they give them a fix-it ticket? And
You know, I've been pulled over once when I had my windows illegally tinted. They mentioned it. All I did is take a razor blade to them right there, and it kept me from getting the ticket.
you took it off right in front of the officer.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's a pretty smart thing to do.
Yep.
And he let you do that.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Told me he wished, didn't say wish, he said, I'm sure there was other people that he's done this for that would love my services at their time.
All right. Now, there are tints you can put on the front windows, right, that stop the sun from coming in,
Yes.
but without darkening the window?
Correct.
Yeah. Well, you tell me what kind of different tints you have.
Oh, I carry a different variety of tints. They make for several different types, mainly on the market. You've got a dyed film, a metallized dyed film, a carbon film, and a ceramic film.
What's the difference?
The difference is the quality of the film. Your dyed films are dyed the color that they are, so over time they will fade.
Okay. So that's probably the cheapest.
Yeah, it's the bottom of the totem pole, basically,
Yeah.
whereas your high-quality nano-ceramics and ceramic films are your top of the line. Your carbon and half metal, half dye kind of fall in between now.
How long should a good film last you?
At least a good 10 to 15 years.
So the life of the car, basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
Or probably well beyond. You're going to get rid of your car probably before 10 years.
Most people don't keep their car more than 3 to 5 years before they're getting another one.
Yeah. You know, I have no idea the process that's involved. I mean, do you iron it on? Do you stick? I mean, how do you do it without any bubbles in there?
Well, they come in big rolls, anywhere from a 60-inch roll, 40-inch, or 20-inch roll.
Okay.
And you cut a piece according to the size of the window, lay it on the glass, and you cut a pattern from that pattern. Once you cut that pattern, you take a heat gun and you shrink it and mold it to the actual shape of the window. This is all done on the outside of the car.
Okay.
Once that's all done, then we transfer everything to the inside of the window of the car.
You mean you do this? Wait, the film goes on the inside?
Correct.
Oh, I thought it was on the outside.
Nope.
Wow.
If I had a penny for every time everybody asked me that, I'd be a rich man.
Well, see, that's why I'm here to learn. I'm here to
exactly.
learn. So you do all the measurements and the cutting on the outside, but then you actually put it on the inside.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then the glass itself will help protect the film because the film's on
That
the
makes
inside of
sense.
the
That makes sense. Okay, so how do you do it without any bubbles in there? Is that where the artistry comes in?
I think that's where the skill comes in.
Or is there a tool you use?
Not necessarily the artistry. The artistry, in my opinion, would come from the actual making and the cutting and the molding of the film itself. The laying of the film is just making sure it's clean. Clean, clean, clean. You can't get any cleaner than clean. You got to do some scrubbing. You got to do some scraping. You got to take some razor blades in there. You got to just make sure your whole surface is completely clean. And then I used what, in my opinion, is the best way. I use reverse osmosis water. I have 3 different filters on my tank that will also filter the osmosis water that I'm already putting in the
Wait a
first
minute. Why
place.
is this water important? Why is this osmosis water important?
Because it's clean. It's there's no contamination in the water. It's been filtered.
Okay.
And then again, like I said, I put that into my containers. I add my solutions and mixes to them, and then it goes through another 3 different filter system that I used before it'll even hit the glass. So when that water is hitting the glass, you're getting nothing but pure, clean water with no contamination.
So that you're basically using the water to clean the glass before you put the film on? Am I understanding it
Correct.
right? Okay. So you have basically a pristine surface
Absolutely.
to work with.
Absolutely. And I mean, that's the key. The cleaner the surface, the cleaner the area, the cleaner your work area, the better the product and the job will come out.
Okay. So how long does it take from start to finish for each window? Is it an hour or?
No, an average of a normal 4-door, let's say, Nissan Maxima would be about 2 hours.
To do all the windows?
To do the whole complete
That's not
car.
bad.
No.
That's not bad. And what would that cost, depending on which one of the four you chose?
Depending on the Ford that you choose,
Yeah.
or the different films that you choose, anywhere from $109 to $409.
Well, that's a pretty big jump there.
Could be.
Can you really tell the difference between the 109 and the 409?
You feel the difference.
You feel the difference.
You feel
What, in the heat inside the car?
Heat inside the car, yes. Inexpensive, low-quality films will reduce up to about 20, maybe 21% of the heat into the vehicle. Your next stage up is about another 10% on top of that.
Okay.
Your carbons, maybe as much as 35%. You get into your high-quality nano-ceramics and ceramic films, you're reducing anywhere from 85% of the infrared heat to 95% of the infrared heat coming into the car. So it definitely makes a difference in the type of film that you're putting in your vehicle.
Okay, but if you can only do the back windows, you can't do the driver's windows. Isn't the sun still going to come in those windows?
Absolutely, absolutely. In order to get the best heat reduction that you can, you have to do the entire vehicle, and that includes the windshield. That being said, I carry extremely light films that look like cling wrap.
Would they just cut out the ultraviolet rays, or
It cuts out ultraviolet and the heat. It just has no color. It's completely clear.
is that what the NASCAR drivers have on that they rip off
I
on their
couldn't tell you.
windshields?
I wouldn't know what they use. That'd be interesting to find out, though.
Yeah. So you can tint the back windows, but you can also put clear on the front and the
Correct.
And the
It's,
driver's
and it's I don't want to be misleading. It's not a super clear, but I mean, if you put up a piece of cling wrap, it's like looking through cling wrap. It's that clear. It's that transparent. But it reduces the UV rays by 99.9%. It, depending on the film you choose, up to a 95% infrared heat reduction. So if you do that along your windshield and you do it along your two front doors, and then you black out the rear of your vehicle, the chances are you're reducing a good amount of heat into that vehicle. It'll use less gas in your car consumption because you're not using the AC as much anymore. When you get in the car, you're going to turn it on for about 3 minutes. It's going to get so cold you got to turn it down.
That would be good in the Fresno summer.
There's that much of a difference in film.
Wow. So what do you do when somebody comes to you and wants that dark tinting on the driver's side?
I explain to them the laws.
Will you do it and say,
educate
hey,
them.
you're on your own, or do you
I
say,
educate
I
them.
can't?
I just educate them.
Yeah.
They're an intelligent individual, I hope, and are smart enough to make an intelligent decision from there. I just coach them on what the law says. It's their vehicle, it's their money.
So you'll do the work, but it's up to them if they get stopped,
It's
right?
up to them, right?
Yeah.
It's up to
If
them.
they got the $400, you'll...
They got the money.
Well, yeah, because there's nothing that says you can't put it on, but it's illegal that... Wait a minute. Well,
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. You're not doing anything wrong putting it on. It's the person driving the car
Who's choosing to?
who's choosing to do it. It's
Correct.
going to have problems if they get stopped, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I steer them away from it as much as I can. I mean, even if they're wanting that limo on that front door, before I even touch that door, I've asked them 10, 15 times, are you sure? Are you sure? You may drive away from here and get a ticket the minute you leave. So,
I'd make them sign a release or something, saying that
that's-
I've explained to you.
there's some paperwork involved.
Yeah. You want to protect
Absolutely.
protect yourself, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So where can folks find out more about what you do?
There's several ways. You can find me on Facebook. Cali Phat Customz at yahoo.com is my email address.
And it's PHAT.
And it's PHAT for pretty hot and tempting tint.
And Customz with a Z on the end, too.
Correct. I'm on Yelp. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter at Tintmaster. Tintmaster.
Tipmaster.
Tintmaster. I like the Tintmaster too, though. That works.
You'd probably get a lot of hits.
I'm located at 5789 East Shields Avenue, Fresno, California, 93712. Cross streets are Shields and Sunnyside. I'm on the north side of Shields.
But you can travel to people's houses and do this, right?
I can. I do also mobile.
Traveling man.
So if you've got a nice, good, clean garage that I can open up all the doors, and not have to worry about dinging or denting the vehicle, have plenty of light adequate enough to what I do, I can come to your house.
So you have to do it inside.
Yes and no. You can tin outside, but whether or not your job's going to come out right is another story. You're subject to all the elements in the air.
Right.
So if you are in an environment that is made to keep those elements away, of course your job's going to come out much better.
Gotcha. All right. Charlie, thank you. Nice meeting you.
Thank you.
Anything you want to add before we go?
Just come on down to Cali Phat Customz. We're a brand new business that just opened up here. I'd love to do some business with you.
Awesome. Cali Phat Customz, right here on Central Valley Talk.